Hello and welcome back to another Magicavoxel tutorial. In this one I'll show you how to create some pretty cool realistic looking rocks in a short amount of time. Regarding this small piece I made in Magicavoxel out showcasing the rocks, I will have a file link on my Patreon, and if there's anything in this image that I haven't made a tutorial on and you want to see, just let me know in the comments and I'll allocate some time and hopefully have a tutorial on that. So with that out the way, let's go ahead and get started making some rocks. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is decide on the scale of your rocks. To keep things simple, I'm just gonna make this like 25 voxels wide, and you want to get rid of the cube, go to face mode and attach, and create like a rectangle and have it centered so that, well, actually you don't have the center, you can just hit the fit model size, and once you do that you can go to the erase setting, click on voxel mode and turn on mirror mode for both X and Y, and start erasing the corners to make it look like the rock is eroded. And I'm just arbitrarily clicking around places that I think this is completely random. There's no sense of form here. You can just play around whatever style you want. And then once you do that, you can turn off X and Y, and to make things a little more interesting, you can give it like sense of like cracks where you drew the lines. Maybe make one side more deteriorated than the other. You want to do this on all faces. Okay, so you have something like this. We're going to go ahead and just expand the whole object up so that our working space is very large, because we are now going to rotate the object to give it some rigidness. So what you do is you click on these four arrows pointing outwards, and you go over to the recycling icon, which is for the rotating the objects, and you're just gonna go ahead and create some rotations for the object so that it looks more like a rock than a simple rectangle. So now that you have that, you basically have a rock. If you want to make it look a little bit more sharper on some edges, and say like a big piece of it broke off, you just go back to voxel mode and increase the voxel size up to your liking. I'm using the plus and minus keys on my keyboard, but you can also adjust the setting using the slider right here. So just pick a size that you want. I'm gonna say 5, and the erase tool selected, and just go ahead and erase portions of your rock so that it looks more like a rock and less of a rectangle. And this number doesn't have to be a hard number, you can adjust it to your liking. So this is why I like using the plus and minus keys, because it allows me to quickly change how I want the brush to behave while still hovering my mouse over the object. Okay, we have this rock right here, and it's gonna be facing upwards like this, and so I can just I can just crop this down a little bit like that, and change the color of the rock to something more believable. So I'm just gonna create a new palette and just select a color swap want to assign for my rock. And there you have a pretty simple looking rock. I'm just going to go ahead and create some more rocks to show you how easy it is to create rocks. So I'll just create a new object, and let's keep it at 40. And we'll do the same thing we did before, just make a simple rectangle. Constrict the object, and then turn on mirror mode X and Y. And then with voxel mode selected, go ahead and start erasing the corners and the edges. And now turning off mirror mode, go ahead and individually delete or create some variety on the selected edges. Alright, with that, let's go ahead and expand the object. Begin the rotating process. And start deleting portions of the rock. Once you make like a couple of assets for your rocks, there's also a cheating method, which is just taking a rock and copying it and using the scale function here. So if you want to make this rock bigger, say 2 times, you can do that easily. And if you want to make it longer on, say, the x-axis, you can do that as well. And now you completely made a new different rock in like 2 seconds. You can even increase that by using the shear method. Obviously, when you scaled it up, the voxels, it looks a little bit different than this. It's a little bit more bigger, so you want to go ahead and get your eraser and start erasing. So now I'm going to do it again using a smaller rock, but instead of making it bigger, I'm just going to make it like more flat. So just like that, within 5 or 10 minutes or so, we were able to create rocks in Magicavoxel, and it's not just limited to one rock. After you made a couple of rocks, you can easily use the scale and shear methods to create many different types of variation of rock. So I hope this video has helped, and I'll see you all in the next one.